I'm getting on great, and it's good to be back for the second ever annual end of season awards ceremony. Love it. And Seamus is looking quite dapper there. I'm so jealous.
Thank you. I'm not allowed to speak legally until I'm introduced, so I had to wait there for Jared to introduce me, Paddy. Thank you. I thought we're all getting dressed up. Like you totally screwed me on this.
There's no sound I'm hearing, guys. Just there from the YouTubers.
No sound. Dodgy audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dodgy audio. No sound.
All right. I'll reply. I'm replying here. Let him know. I've just responded and just let people know we're getting on it. Are we still live?
No sound for Jer. There's sound for me and Seamus. So sure, we'll just go on ahead without Jer, will
we? Oh, we could have some fun here.
Yeah, hey, Jer.
Okay. Well, yeah. So Jer is going to try and resolve his technical issues, and I guess me and Paddy are hosting here. I'm gonna just, take the wheel for a moment and say, Paddy, yeah, this is your second annual awards. Well, it's our second annual awards, but you were here last year too, right?
That's right, Danny.
Yeah. Correct. And how are you feeling about tonight? Are you excited? We've got some guests. I don't know if that's been announced on the big Twitter.
I'm looking forward to seeing some of our guest award announcers, if that would be what you call them. And you had a good season, didn't you? You finished up a decent season.
Nah, I didn't know about season. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's not a season I'll remember too much. It's not going to be that season where I finished. 61K is where I finished. But right. It all depends on how the season ends. And it was tinged with a bit of disappointment because in game week 36 I was up to 35K, and then I had.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Well, we could always hear you. It's the people that we need to figure out if they can hear you.
Can the people hear me?
So let us know in the chat, guys.
Hear me.
If you can hear Jer, because he is talking right now, let us know. And we'll find out there in a minute for you, Jer, because we could hear you the whole time. I was trying to tell everyone. No, I wasn't going to tell everyone that I beat you because, spoiler alert, Jer has finished ahead of me again this season. Paddy was asking Jer if I was happy with my season, and yeah, I kind of went, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, but it's not too memorable. Could have been better. We'll get into it a bit more, I'm sure, in a bit of time. But Paddy, how about you? How overall, you're considering your goal at the start of the season and your readjusted goals in the season, during the season.
Yeah.
Where you finished up? Tell us your overall rank and how you felt about it.
So depressing. I was just looking there. My best rank during the whole season was 95K. That was in game week 1, and yeah, I know. So that pretty sums it up. My worst rank was 2.5 million, and that was in game week 9. And I think that might have been the game week where Salah went nuts against United, and I brought in Havertz and captained him. So from that game week 9 on, it was a struggle. I was up and down, but I did fight back to 475k OR.
So, okay.
Top 5%, top 5%.
495 was it? That's good. We'll take that. I'm just going to focus on the comments here for a moment. Sorry to ignore you for a minute, Paddy. So we're getting some conflicting information. Ian Quinner, who probably has reason to be here. He's probably
never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Word or two. He's saying that people can hear Jer, and then Chris Reed, who's listening, says can't hear us. And that sounds like he can't hear any of us because he's asking our mics on. So Chris, if you can, I was going to say if you can hear us, turn up the volume, but I don't know what's going on there. Anyone else?
Mike can hear us. Yeah, they can hear us.
He's dicking with us. He's laughing. No, we're good.
Baza can fucking hear, so no, he's all right. Baza, fuck you, Chris Reed.
Yeah, Mike is like he can hear us, so just jog on because he doesn't want us to wait for other people. Reed, he's probably okay.
FPL I guess that's the technical gremlins out of the way. Hello to everyone in the chat. No, they couldn't hear the intro, so I'm going to start from the top, and we'll kick it off like it's meant to be kicked off.
Okay.
Hello, And welcome to the season finale of the FPL Hangover podcast, where we raised the bar and ordered all things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 23rd of May, and the season is done, but we're not done. We've got one final episode, and we couldn't leave you go into the long, lonely summer without the second annual FPL Hangover Podcast Awards. So as my two podcast partner in crimes have been keeping the show running while I fix the mic, you are aware. You know what's going on. Everyone's getting their fucking their post-season stress out. And we're gonna fucking have a bit of crack this evening. Nothing mad planned. We've got some crazy special guests that I didn't know was gonna happen until literally an hour ago. And I'm delighted to let you see how that's gone. There will be some hardcore nudity. Which it wouldn't be the FPL Hangover if we didn't have a bit of hardcore nudity. And there'll be all the usual. Who gets his knob out? Don't say it, Paddy. It's a surprise.
One of us is not wearing any pants underneath his desk, and one of us may stand up before the end of the pod.
That's what they're all here for.
Do you know how close I came to not putting on pants before this? I'm not even joking. I was legitimately like, and those listening will know why at the end of the show. But I was this close to not wearing pants this evening. But Paddy, you've already talked. You finished. You ended up inside that 500,000 mark, which I know you're not happy with. But
I'm sick.
It's not the worst, Paddy. It's not.
Was that not one of your goals mid-season though? Or was that?
Well, let's put it this way, right? I don't have a very impressive one of those game week histories things that people always share about. But it is the first. It's the worst result I've had since 2015.
In 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I know you did really struggle at the start though, didn't you? You were kind of chasing from the get-go. You were at game week. You were 1 million rank after game week.
I think if I could speak for Paddy, and
go on ahead.
Lord knows I can. You know, I think we can all agree that you let the show go to your head. You thought, I'm on the Hangover, second season, permanent podcast host. I don't need to fucking try. It's going to come in naturally. And how wrong you were.
100%. And I just want to say hello to Ferry there. Ferry's on. Do you know what? That is 100%. I thought I got me right. You see, I got my first ever top 100k last season, right? And I just thought, you know what? A top 10k this year, no problem. You know, I don't even have to look. I don't even have to study at FPL. I'm not even going to check it that much. I'll just go on the pod, waffle on, and just wing it. I thought I would just get it, no problem. And throughout the season, I was like, oh fuck, I can't wait. This is over. I can't wait. This is over. But now it's over. I can't wait for it to be back because I really want to. I just want to correct that wrong. Like I want to just go for my top 100k next year again, like, because that's where I know my level, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Seamus, I know you kind of touched on it as well, but it isn't the heights of you that you've reached in the past. But overall, I think you can't complain. Pretty decent overall rank.
It's not too bad. It's the disappointing thing is how your season is almost entirely based on how you finish the last couple of game weeks. Like if you finish on back-to-back red arrows, then you're going to feel like not a good season. But it wasn't too bad. The goal the last few weeks was to finish top 50k, and then I got like top 35k. Well, try and get as high as possible. I was trying to catch you. That was the goal. 35k in game week 36, and then like almost double my rank immediately the following week later. So that's that game week 37 killed me. So yeah, I was hoping to get back top 50k with one final push, but final game week was all right. It was green arrow, 61k. Yeah, it's done.
Right. It's in the past. Right. Let's move on.
I'm not gonna talk anymore about that. Let's look at next season.
So Jared, that means you won, did you?
I won. I did.
So do you have the wee trophy there?
I think it's actually still out in the kitchen, would you believe? Because I had a bit of a shindig yesterday, and I did have to bring it out and rub it in Seamus's face. Not literally, because I don't want to get his shit on it, but in general, or figuratively, definitely.
And just for the viewers, who has their name on this trophy the most between the both of you now at the moment?
Look at him. Look at this guy with the big Cheshire grin.
Seamus, he messaged me to say that. on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, not surprising. But look, the season's done now. We don't need to worry about overall rank anymore. In a few short months, we're going to be looking at our next red arrow and and forgetting all about the seasons past. So let's get on with the show. Before we get into the award ceremony, I would like to just address the mini league, and I believe we have quite an esteemed member of our mini league in the chat this evening, Mr. Ian Quinn. He is finished. Would you believe it? You would believe it, because I don't think there was any hope of him not finishing top of the FPL Hangover mini league. He's absolutely fucking smashed it this year. 14. Oh, when I had it written down, bastard. 14th overall rank, Paddy.
What?
14th.
14th
in the fucking world.
14th.
And you know what's more?
This Ian fella.
Ian fella. He's only the guy you've been calling out at the top of the league for about 6 fucking months
Since
now.
Christmas
Since at least
anyway.
Christmas.
I know.
But he's sitting there right on the top of the league, and 14th overall in the world. Guess where he came in Ireland? This actually shocked me a bit now.
What? So he didn't come first in Ireland?
He didn't come first in Ireland. And that's not an insult on Ian. That's just, I was surprised that there was 2 Irish fucking players ahead of the 14th overall position in the world. But he's come third in this country, so bronze medal, nothing to fucking sneer at.
Yeah.
Massive congratulations.
And 14th in the world. What? Did you do wild card and bench boost in the same week?
He had the app. That's what he had. Which is cheating, as we all know.
See, that's because of the Hangover podcast. He got that tip from me.
Yeah, of course he did.
I told him.
You broke the game for a lot of people.
Me and him came 14th.
He just went from strength to strength. He just never let go. I mean, he had... Yeah, I'm just looking at here. He was like...
Well done, me and Ian.
Yeah. He got... And you know what?
We done it, Ian.
Do you know what he had? He had this season the elusive grey arrow in game week 37, where he it was started with an OR of 27 and finished with an OR of 27.
He did not legitimately get a grey arrow, did he?
He got a legitimate grey arrow, yeah.
Jesus,
that's fucking.
So he's got all the things. The only thing that was missing from his CV right now is number 1 in Ireland, which, like, with an OR of 14, I think you can forgive that. I think the guy who came third or something in the world was Irish. So
what is it with the Irish and being fucking amazing at FPL? Like last year's overall
winner.
winner.
Were the Norwegians?
Yeah.
I think it's like the Scandinavians are the guys who are known for it. Although an American won it this year.
I did, so I saw that. Football is life.
Football is life, yes.
Yeah. Spelled football wrong though, the creator. But
me and Ian against the world. So can I just ask Ian a question here? I was saying that we can interact with the folks on the YouTube. Ian, was there like one of those moves that like stopped you, just if you had done, say if you had a captain this person, or if you had made this transfer, that you would have won the Irish one, or you would have came like top 10 in the world? Was there any moves that you just realized?
He can let us know in the chat. Let us know there. I mean, looking at his OR, I mean, game week 33 is the only kind of bad game week he had this side of Christmas, pretty much. He's just been like consistently top 500 apart from that 1 week we got a red arrow. So what happened in game week 33?
We'll let him get back to us. But while he's pondering on that pretty good question, let's just shout out a couple of other names in the mini league. So in second place, Donny's Duds. You're familiar with him, Paddy. He absolutely smashed it this year as well. He was only 80 points behind first place, but an incredible overall rank. He kicked us.
Is that the casual?
That's the casual. Yeah, Donny the casual.
Yeah.
Super Maverick still in third. Harold's Cross is in fourth. Fifth is T Suarez as Paddy Pa. And I'm just gonna shout out Mike because I know he's in the chat. He another excellent season. Just it's just glad to see all these lads just fucking kicking ass. I mean, obviously I wish I could take their points instead, but 9th place in the mini league and a fantastic season to Mike. So congratulations to him. As I said, I was threatening that top 10 there about 3 months ago, and now nowhere fucking near it. But that's the way it works. You guys can let me know if Ian does get back in the chat, but I think we should kick off with the awards. What do you guys think?
Well, we can, but he's just got back to us in the chat,
perfect.
and he says, game week 37, Ings captain cost him about 16 points and top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That I suppose, that Ings captaincy was a real fucking bummer for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think we all were nearly. That was
Yeah.
the free hit week, wasn't it? We all free hit it.
Yeah, with a lot of people.
Most of us.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't have the free hit, but and that screwed me. But like he had Madison and he had Richarlison. If he can't for either of those guys, then I think a lot of people went for Richarlison.
We all captained everyone but fucking points that game. Like I captained Ings, and if I had to put it on any of the other players, it cost me a top 400k finish. So yeah, I feel your pain, Ian.
But as good as this is how good he did this year. He finished 73 points ahead of Donny's duds there in second place, and I was like, oh well, where did Donny finish? 2,000 or 3,000, something like that. He finished 357, so he still finished that's how much of a difference. 73 points is a huge difference, and that's how tight it is at the top. So he's absolutely smashed. He's been smashing all season, going for the week. He captained De Bruyne, and De Bruyne got the 6 points. I knew I was in for a good week that week because basically whoever Quinner had captained for the previous 5 weeks had been the top point scorer in the game. So I was like, well, I'm obviously going to have a smashing week this week, and so it transpired. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for the good luck there that particular week, Quinner, because that really put the shits up Jura in game week 36. At least put you under a tiny bit of pressure.
It was a 60-point swing. It was massive. It was,
but then you made up 55 points again the following week or something. So
in the bag, but 60-point swing, and then to not be ahead of you, or to not be behind you all season, and all of a sudden 6 points behind with 2 game weeks left. I would be lying if I said I wasn't shitting myself. But at the end of the day, cream rises to the top. Seamus, speaking of cream,
you're right.
Cheers to everyone.
To Ian Quinn.
To Ian Quinn.
Cheers to the boys.
The champ. And me
and Paddy
for 14th.
joint 14th place,
and I'm drinking White Russians and you're drinking Guinness.
Yeah.
Well, I assume you finished the Guinness. You finished the Guinness already. But let's kick into the awards, guys. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ready.
All right. So for the folks watching on the YouTubes, feel free to shout out your nominations. It won't make a difference because the answers have already been decided. I had to work on this before we did the pod, but feel free to let us know if we're wrong or what you think should have been nominated throughout the show. And I was going to say best comment wins a Hangover mug, but I feel like that would be very hard for me to judge. Jesus. That's what happens when you neck a glass of wine before you come on air.
Before you
have a pint of Guinness. But look, we've got a bit of gear to give away, and we'll be throwing some shit out throughout the show. But let's get into the awards. First up, everyone will know goalkeeper of the season, and they're more commonly known as the fridge of any Premier League soccer team. I haven't reused slides from last year. I redid them. Seamus he's got that look in his face. He doesn't get it, but he will. The fridge says the FPL goalkeeper of the season nominees this year: Aaron Ramsdale, Jose Sa, David De Gea, and Sanchez. So before we announce the winners, I'll throw it over to Seamus first. You think I left anyone out there? Was there any glaring omissions? And the same to everyone in the comment section.
No, as I was thinking about it, because I was thinking about my Premier League team of the season this year, and in my non-FPL but actual Premier League team of the season, Alisson wins that quite comfortably. And he was good.
But that's non-FPL.
But FPL wise, just because his price, I couldn't put him in there because you couldn't use one of your 3 Liverpool spots on him. So no, I think you got them. I think you got the bang on. Who did you have Sanchez in there? Or De Gea? I didn't really like the De Gea shout. I didn't really get why he was in there, but other than that,
just because I'm a Man United fan, so I need to get a bit of representation out there. I think he's the only United player you could consider for anything this year, maybe.
Maybe, but yeah, no, I that's why I was looking down. I was trying to who did I? Because you asked me for my picks here, and I was morning when I did these up, so I just wanted to make sure that these made sense. But yeah, I know who I voted for here. Do we have a winner?
We damn right. But before we do, Paddy, any glaring omissions? Any favourites that you would have went for there? Who's your goalkeeper this season?
It was Ramsdale for probably after my wild card. So I can't even remember who I started with. But
there's only one keeper coming to your head. And just to touch on that De Gea thing, I think the reason I threw him in here was one of the qualifying reasons for me was players that just happened to be talked about. And United had those doubles, and for a long while there was only really De Gea was the only United option I was looking at. So I think that's kind of what made him stand out. I don't know who would I put in there instead of him, Seamus. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna stand by my opinion, but it's irrelevant because
Sanchez was my captain or my goalkeeper for the first half of the season.
Yeah,
but it had to be Ramsdale. That's who I would go for.
Fair enough. And let's get on to the winner of FPL Goalkeeper of the Season.
Drum roll, please.
You're damn right. It's Aaron Ramsdale. I think it's hands down. I think even though the end of the season was pretty poor for him, I think he's, if you were to think of like the one keeper this year that people chatted about that made kind of waves, I think it was him.
And he started at 4.5, let's not forget, which was great. I was looking just to see, I was like, he must be near the top. So he actually, he's like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's behind Fabianski, behind Sarr, and he's behind Lloris. Okay, you'd expect Alisson and Ederson maybe, but yeah, it's just, and like I was mocking the De Gea pick a small bit, but like De Gea only finished 3 points behind him. Now he did miss the first 3 games of the season, but he definitely was the kind of standout keeper there for a while. But like the reason he was not my pick in the end was Salah. Because Salah just had this insane overperformance and like was the only reason Wolves were anyway decent. But like he has last clean sheet he had was in game week 29 against Leicester, and that's the only clean sheet he's had since game week 24. He's been 1s and 2s the whole way since. So
who's this, Ramsdale?
This is Ramsdale. So his like form fell off a cliff. So therefore he lost my vote at the last minute, and I went with Salah. But there was no one really good this year.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think I was second guessing myself with the Ramsdale pick, but I just don't think people talked about Salah that much. And I do think like while Wolves had that classic defense 1-0 Wolves was kind of what people were hoping for a lot. I just don't think it really affected. I didn't see a lot of teams with him in it, I think is what I'm saying. Do you know?
But the teams I saw before Christmas were mopping up, flying up the league. That's when I was struggling to break in top 100k. And I just really think I kind of wish I went for someone like Salah back then. And when instead I went with the likes of Sice or Cody or whoever I had in my team. Yeah. So, didn't do half as well.
Yeah, but I think that's the goalkeeper award.
It's a dull award.
Yeah, and he was 4. He was fuck it. Shitty award, but 4.5 million as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it has to be given, But yeah, as you said, Paddy, 4.5. What more do you want? More clean sheets, I'll tell you, after game week 29. But let's move on. Next category we have is the Life Hack Award. Now, this one,
interesting.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, I'm going to have people
more exciting than the goalkeeper award.
Well, fuck you. How about that? How about you fucking come up with the awards?
Yeah, okay.
You know what, Paddy? You're off the show. You just made the list.
You just made the list.
You got to pull out a sheet of paper and a pencil there, Jared.
Yeah, I know. Really
undermine this.
You know what, Paddy? You just made the list. Just go absolutely buck ape. But no, Life Hack Award. This is for those extreme value players, those out of position kind of players. Now, there wasn't a fucking lot of them this year. I don't know if you noticed it, but I can only think of really one. But it's for those guys that you stick in your team for no other reason than either a bit of value or, as I said, in some seasons there'd be the out of position thing, but not so much this year. The nominees for the Life Hack of the season, Foster, I think, considering his heroics in fucking game week 36, 14 points. I know he was sharing time with Backman at stages, but still crazy cheap starting keeper for the end of it. Dan James, just because he's the only out of position player, I think really disappointing season in terms of output, but he was playing up front for Leeds for the whole season, and if they had actually managed to score anything, he could have become something, but I felt forced to throw him in. Another Leeds player, Gelhardt, just because of that end of the season 4.5 striker slot that might get some minutes, and he did actually end up getting, was it 2 attacking returns in the last? Did he get it? No, he got VAR'd out on the last day of the season, but I think he had an assist the week before that, game week 37. So some attacking returns for Gelhardt, and Livramento as that 4.0 fifth bench or fifth defender option, an amazing start to the season, and they were my 4 life hacks. Did you think I left anyone out? Did the guys in the comments think I left anything out?
No, I was just waiting for the 4th one to come, but yeah, no, I think you nailed them out there. The proper ones. Maybe I was trying to look back. I was trying to think who I had. Maybe I had Basuma or someone from Brighton, but no, I think they're perfect.
Life hacks. I mean, you're talking budget guys, enablers. We're not talking extreme value like players at the start of the season, like Rafinha. I thought were underpriced. There's all these players like Bowen, completely underpriced. Like the points he got for what his starting price was ridiculous. But if you're talking purely budget life hacks, it's got to be for me Livramento. Until his injury, he was like a starting 4.0 player that we all got on at 4.0 or 4.1 who was actually getting us points. Broja was somebody I was excited about mid-season. It was like, there's like this dead forward spot that I can get for 5 million who can score goals, who just then didn't score any goals. So he's not scoring goals, you can't give it to him, whereas Livramento was good. So
yeah, he was. If I had to make a case for one other player, I would have to go with Connor Cody.
Yeah, I don't think he's a life hack. He's a 4.5 defender.
Yeah,
that was the thing.
4.5. Okay, 4.5. Yeah, that's fucking that's off the charts expensive.
And he will come back into this, Paddy. So you'll get a bit more Cody action.
There was lots of good 4.5s though. I will say that, but I think
life hack, perfect.
Yeah, I think compared to last season, this is one of my favorite awards each season. You have your Dallas.
Yeah.
You have Lundstrom. You'd won Bissaka, players like that seasons past. But this year, no one really stood out. Livramento is as close as it gets. Did you announce the winner?
I didn't, but I have a couple of honorary kind of mentions. The likes of Mbumo for Brentford. He had that kind of out of position midfielder that was kind of playing as a striker for a bit of it. Dalot for United, just because you could get in there at 4.2. Gordon, I think again I'm just letting my team bias kick in here, but Gordon for Everton, who did absolutely fucking nothing this season, but again was a 4.5 on set pieces kind of midfielder, and Ramsey for Villa, again a 4.5 midfielder who
those last two you mentioned, the 4.5 mids were good options. And Tsimikas, actually, we didn't mention Tsimikas, who at the start of the season got us all 20 points in 3 games.
We all had him.
But what was he like, 3.9 and stuff like that? So he was like
3.7 by the end. That was what a cruel twist of fate. That's like, the cheapest player in the game is 3.7, but he uses a Liverpool slat. I mean, there is some sick prick in FPL Towers that deliberately did that. I don't care what anyone says.
You would have done that if you were hired by the Towers. You would have been in there.
Yeah, 100%.
Drop him again.
If I hadn't
again.
One more time. One more time.
And then whoever they are, they're making Manny and Salah the same price. Like,
that's not going to happen next year, though.
Yeah,
couldn't.
He's going to Bayern.
But the winner of the FPL life hack of the season, we kind of touched on it already. I think it's Livramento. I think he was in my squad for half the fucking year, just on sheer price alone, and I think he made a bit of a name for himself. So there we go. Congratulations to Tino. Clap for him.
Definitely well done. There's no disputing that. Livramento all the way.
Yeah,
there's no disputing it unless your name is Chris Reed and he thinks Tsimikas. Yeah. But no, I gotta give it to my boy Liver. I'm happy he won it, and fair play to the man.
Yeah, we got some agreement in the chat as well. I know Rossi seems to be on the Liver train as well. So that's the life hack. So up next is our first guest of the evening. Now, obviously, they're not here live because it's the 3 of us and we can't afford to pay these guys. They're very expensive. But we can afford to plead with them to send a video in announcing the next category. And the first, this is Scumbag Haul of the Year. So I love this category just because it, they're just those moments in the season where, these giant hauls occur. And every third or fourth player in the league might have one. You see them floating around, but that there's not a hope they thought this person was getting the points. And I think I'm going to leave it over to the announcer. It's and he can He can talk you through the things. So let me know before I play. This is the first video even. So if the audio is all shit or this turns out funky, let me know and I can revisit it. But for now, I will throw it over to our guest announcer for FPL Scumbag Haul of the season.
Hi, I'm Hindu Monkey, aka PJ, 9.5 midfielder of the mythical North. Game week 39 this Saturday, Bell Park, Birmingham. Anyway, I'm here to present the award for Scumbag of the Year. Scumbag Haul of the Year, actually, I believe. Just bear with me. Let me put this on. So we've got Mason Mount versus Norwich, 24 points. Bastard. Cancelo versus Newcastle, 18 points. Not sure what he's doing in there. Gallagher versus City, 13 points when most of us benched him. Let's be honest, scumbag. And Salah's 28-point triple captain haul versus Norwich and Leeds. So for me, only one winner there, and I hope it's who I think it is. And it's absolute fucking scumbag, Mason Mount. 24 points from fucking nowhere, including a penalty. Absolute scumbag.
So I hope to God that worked out great, because I'm kind of blind on this side, but that's down to me.
Looks great.
A big thank you to PJ Hindu Monkey. This is the second awards show for us he's done in a row. So that's 2 in a row he's done now. And a big shout out. Absolutely fantastic of him to do so. And as you may have gathered, the FPL Scum... I actually am about to announce this, and I don't know if I can remember who the fuck won it.
You can.
I
can announce
you?
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Seamus, take it away, Seamus. Yeah.
Well, it's already been announced, but you just did it.
But I don't.
It was that scumbag Mason Mount against Norwich in game week. Is that game week 8? A man, by the way, who Quinner had captained.
I think that
Jesus.
was that not game week 9? Was that not the Havertz blank week?
It might have. It was the blank. Was that 9? Okay, I got the game week wrong. But it was that same week where everyone was captaining Havertz or Salah, and he went with Mount, and Mount got his scumbag haul.
Yeah, he had a penalty and everything.
So he even got a penalty. Was it 3 goals and an assist or something like that? And then he now Quinner would have been like up in the top 100 that particular game week had Salah not done his hat-trick business. But we all remember Salah did it that week. There was so many nominations that I voted for someone that wasn't even in amongst the nominations. I voted for Son, and he's scumbag haul in game week 34 when he got a hat-trick against Villa. Game week 32 was hat-trick against Villa. That pissed me off. But there's a lot of hat-tricks this year.
There was a lot
that
of
was
big
a great
calls.
award.
I think so. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the nominees, I'm pretty sure PJ went through them, but like the likes of Cancelo versus Newcastle, a bit of a weak one, 18 points, but it was his only goal of the year. And for that to come alongside a clean sheet and an assist, for me, I was like, and it was a couple of poxy fuckers that decided to lob the armband on him. I'm not mentioning any names, but
burn them to the ground.
They got their just desserts that week, 18 points, and I think that Salah triple captainship, I called it a scumbag haul just because of how much it fucked those who didn't play the chip that week. Do you know, it was like there's a lot of people who decided to wildcard that week, completely justifiable, and whatever chip you wanted to use, you're like, yeah, that's grand, just so long as Salah doesn't go too mad. I'll have him. He mightn't be my triple captain, but, a goal and assist. maybe a goal and assist in one week and he just does nothing the next. No. Absolutely smashes it. 28 points. Triple captain. You're laughing,
Scumbag.
Absolute scumbag.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag, don't you know?
I also think Ronaldo, his 2 goals he got in his debut against Newcastle when he came in, and there was all this hype about him, and I was like, going to ignore the hype. And then he got like 2 poxy goals. Like one was a rebound and spill from the keeper or something like that. And I was like, oh, God damn it. We're going to have to get this guy in now. So that felt like a scumbag haul.
Yeah.
There was a few of them. Yeah.
That's a good show. Ronaldo definitely, as I said, and even that, it was the same week as Lukaku, where you were like, because he got a bit of a haul, not a massive one, but was it a goal and assist against Liverpool for Chelsea? I can't remember.
That's who I went with that week as well. I was like, oh yeah, I got Lukaku in now. Hopefully Ronaldo blanked. No, Ronaldo smashed it. But Yeah, I guess there could be people out there cursing cursing KDB for his game week 36 4 goals against Wolves. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely call him a scumbag for that because he saved my ass that week. So
yeah, definitely. But either way, congratulations to Mason Mount. You've picked up a pretty special reward this year, and we'll move on. Next up, back to a bit of normality again. One of the positions, Defender of the Year, otherwise known as, what was my ridiculously witty thing for defenders? Oh, bus, because they parked the bus thing. Oh man, I'm too good. Wasted.
So, fridge
Wasted.
for goalkeepers, bus for okay.
Don't act like it doesn't make sense. But yeah, Defender of the season. The nominations are Trent, Cancelo, Cody. There you go, Paddy. But that was basically for you because I felt like he was
thank you, mate.
yours. And I don't know if it's controversial, but Reece James, I threw him in there.
I was hanging on it. I was waiting to hear his name in there. So
yeah,
he deserves to be in there. But I mean, there's so many others as well.
Yeah, I think there's a few that could have challenged James.
Like Alonso, even near the end of the season.
Yeah, well, definitely more so than fucking Reece James, because of course I went with James, so Alonso went absolutely mental. But looking at the honorary mentions for Defender of the Year, you had the likes of flicking through my things like an absolute pro. Robbo, I think obviously interchangeable. Like you made a point, Seamus, when we were chatting about it. Trent first half of the season, Robbo second half.
Yeah. If you had somehow done that, you would have like had the best of both worlds because Trent ends up the top point scorer in the game, defenders, the season just ahead of Cancelo. Only 7 points ahead of him.
The chat is going fucking bananas here, boys. Matip robbed. Nihal Kulkarni. Can't fucking pronounce his name. Sorry, mate. But he's like Joel Matip, the truth. FPL Hans, 100% Matip. Matip robbed. They're rioting. They're burning effigies of us in their homes.
There's not a hope Ash had Matip in his team.
We haven't announced the winner here. Like, who's being
robbed?
No,
I know.
Surprise entrance
as a nomination. So
he didn't even make the honorable mentions. I didn't even.
And the winner is Matip.
Yeah. Just to get them off our backs.
Matip did end up with the fifth highest points for defender though, just ahead of Laporte and just behind Van Dijk. And considering what's his minutes like, he did have a good few minutes though. 3 goals, 3 assists. He was especially good. I think there's recency bias here because he finishes the season with 11-11-7 with 2 goals and an assist, and
how much
his last 3 games. Yeah, he was seriously though. He started off 5 million, didn't he? Started off at 5, finished at 5.3. So yeah, I mean, value wise, you're not getting better than that. But
he was taking up a Liverpool spot.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean that's not a bad thing because he's like almost scored as many points as Van Dijk for $1.5 million less. But no, same way Van Dijk didn't get nominated for Player of the Year. I think James is a good show because he got 5 goals and 9 assists in like less than 2,000 minutes. So you can imagine what he might have got if he. I know he was very frustrating at times to get 1-0, 1-0-2.
Yeah.
But then you get 18, 14, 11, and you were like laughing. So, yeah, 100%. I think he has to be mentioned in the nominations. It's just unlucky he didn't play more.
But do you know what? All these motherfuckers in the chat, I bet you none of them had Matip in their teams. And they're all fucking wanking over him now.
The absolute opposite. I think they all had him in their team, so they just love him to bits. I think that's the reason.
Maybe, but I don't believe them.
If you told me before we started recording that Joel Matip was going to hijack the Defender of the Year section, I would have called you a liar.
Every award show needs a bit of controversy. At least no one's slapping anyone in ours.
There could be a mug here.
I
think there's a mug here for best comment, and that might go to Nehul. For Joel Matip is the true fantasy king.
Ooh, wow. I think they get you, Paddy.
That's it. They get you.
What?
Yeah, well, you're fantasy king on YouTube.
How do you block someone from the...
Ash has got another shout there. Eric Dyer, 15 clean sheets.
You know what?
But fuck Spurs.
Fuck Ash.
Ash is all. Ash is a
fuck the South Ash. Fuck the South Ash.
Yeah. Ash and FPL Hints there. That's a value man. He's looking at points per million. but fair play.
Yeah, he knows his shit, but and Ash was on earlier this season, so I'm glad to see him back one more time. But yeah, I guess we might as well announce the winner. It feels a bit underwhelming now that Joel Massip has completely hijacked it, but shock horror. The winner of FPL Defender of the Season is Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Wow.
He didn't win last year. I was looking at the thing. He wasn't even in the fucking things last year. He was an honorary mention.
Oh, he had a bad season last year. That was his bad year.
Who won it last season then?
Stuart Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Gross,
Imagine Dallas won it last season. And well, there you go.
That's what you have.
So
A worthy winner.
he had 14 attacking returns, 2 goals, 12 assists, and 18 clean sheets. 208 points. One of the few defenders that's broken 200 points this season. And Cancelo's the other one. Now, he ended up on a final price of 8.4, but I think for that price, you pay it.
Yeah. What do you think happens next year, price-wise, with Trent?
I think
7.5 again?
the same.
7.5?
Like he started 2021 after getting 210 points the season before. He started at 7 million. So he started this season at 7.5. So I think he stays at 7.5. But he could go up to 8. But people who think he's going to go to 8.5 and 9 for FPL Towers to make a decision, no. He'll stay at 7.5.
All right, we've heard it first. Staying at 7.5. But congratulations, Trent. I'm sure we'll see you floating around next year. That brings us to our next award of the evening. It's the Maybe Next Year Awards. I really should have come up with some better names for some of these. But maybe next year. Not, very, what would you say, subtle. I think you can pretty much figure out what we're going for. It's players that didn't really smash it this year, but I'm going to have my eye out next year. There's a couple of dodgy ones in there. You can let me know how it goes. But the nominations for the Maybe Next Year award are Conor Gallagher, Ramsey for Villa. I can never remember his first name. Kulusevski for Spurs. It'll be interesting to see what price point he comes in. And Luis Diaz for Liverpool. Honourable mentions are... I didn't realise how fucking much my Man United bias was playing into this until I started reading them out. But honourable mentions go to Elanga, Gordon, Odegaard, Martinelli. We tried to keep this below the 6 million mark, 6.5. I know Diaz is more. Okay. I know Diaz is more, but he's more in a Liverpool midfield that we're all giant priced with, maybe the exception of Jota. But yeah, maybe next year Diaz, Gallagher, Ramsey, and Kulusevski. Let us know in the chat what you think.
Martinelli's coming up here.
Yeah, I don't know who the actual winner of this one is.
I know who I would pick 100%, and I see that Ash has said it as well, and Chris Reed. So for me, it's Kulu.
It's so hard. I mean, I liked Halpin's. Immediately, I thought of Mike Halpin's shouting Martinelli, but then I thought, with Arsenal having Europa League next season, there's going to be more rotation, and I think he comes in priced at 6 million next year. He could just take another step up. I think he could have a great season. But yeah, I think I'm now leaning to Kulu or that new Liverpool guy, depending on what price he is. But he was seriously impressive, Diaz, when he came in. So I don't know.
There's some other crackers coming here, Saka and Rafinha.
Yeah,
probably up in price as well.
If Rafinha, depends on Rafinha's price. A lot of these will depend on prices and like who they're playing with. I mean, Rafinha, Leeds have stayed up, so Rafinha could still be at Leeds next year. But if he's announced at Leeds and he's 7 million or 7.5, and then he transfers to Man United, then I'll be like licking my lips as a United fan, especially. So yeah, Saka, I think is going to get a price hike next year. I think Kulu will as well, because Kulu's been seriously impressive. I think he'll get that late season. He's got 2 goals in the final day of the season. I think he'll end up getting a price hike to something that's kind of a bit like awkward to manage, like 8.5.
Yeah, we do have a late shout for Sigurdsson. There's only one man in the FPL community that goes so fucking low. But
there's no more than Randy Shafter.
First 2 names in the team sheet next season, if they're added back to the game, that would be Mason Greenwood and
Sigurdsson.
Gilfie Sigurdsson.
Exactly
You
what
may
I
as
wanted
well
to happen.
Bring in the other fellow as well.
40 minutes into the show.
We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, it was going to happen at some stage. You just start seeing the numbers just absolutely drop. But I might as well announce who the Maybe Next Year award goes to. You've all been talking about Kulusevski. I kind of am on the edge of swinging that way, but I'm going to go with my gut and say Luis Diaz. I think Diaz...
Fucking mother...
I just think he's going to be... in the starting lineup for Liverpool, and he's going to replace...
Do you? I think he's going to be rotated.
He's already in the starting lineup for Liverpool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's already on their best team, so...
How much is he going to be?
I think he's going to be 9.5.
Well, he's not... You're not going to have him.
Why not?
That's a Firmino price.
Yeah, but as a midfielder.
But as a midfielder, yeah. But
you'd rather have Trent, Salah, or Robbo?
I think I'd rather have a defender and the two mids if I was offered that. Seamus, you biting your tongue?
I think if Mane was priced at, what's Salah going to be next year? 13 again?
Yeah,
12.5 at a push, 13, we'll say. I think if Mane gets a serious price drop and he's like 11 or 10.5, I'm considering, and Diaz is 10 million or 9.5 or something like that. I'd be considering both of those as options over Salah. Not at the start of the season, but at times, like you saw the way Salah's form kind of dipped. There's a World Cup next year, mid-season. So our friend Steve was saying the last day, and he made a good point. In fairness, one of the few he would make, broken clock.
Yeah, time.
So he was saying, after Christmas, there could be just all these players' form might fall off a cliff, and that could be when the likes of Salah goes a bit quieter, kind of like he did this year after the Africa Cup Nations, and like I said, Diaz or Mane could step up. So I definitely think people who went without Salah second half of this season got away with it, but benefited from going elsewhere, getting the Son and Kane double up, going for De Bruyne, things like that.
100%. I think Salah, like anyone that jumped off Salah after, you could say even after the Leicester. I mean, like he did have the doubles and he did some damage in them, but I mean, we'll say the last 7 game weeks even. I think you could have got away without him easily. I mean, Paddy jumped off him well earlier. That's what
Quinner did.
I don't think I got.
Keep going back to Quinner. Quinner did that.
Well, I mean, you should go back to him. He finished 14th overall rank, so I mean, like I think he's a pretty good example to go back to. There does seem to be a bit of I wouldn't say controversy in the chat, but that Diaz pick has gone over. It's got just mixed reactions to it. I mean, Cian Cronin, happy to see you there, pal. He's a former guest on the show and overall 27th Irish winner. He thinks Diaz will be a go-to option next year over Salah. I think he's talking through his arse, but I understand where he's coming from. Do you get me? I think not over Salah, but I think with Salah. I think over one of the defenders, one of the fullbacks.
Yeah, there's some mention there as well for Bruno Guimaraes, which is a good shout. Both Rossi and Nahal both think he will be good next season, which is a good point, especially if Newcastle, go on an upward trajectory. FPL Hints will be happy to hear that. He's a Newcastle fan. Yeah. And there was someone else there. Oh, yes, it was Bowen. Now, I think Bowen is going to be, after the season he's had, I can't see how he's going to be anything less than 8 million next year. He's just going to be price tagged out of it. I mean, if he's 7.5,
is 8 million price tagged out of it?
No,
we paid 7 for Antonio this year.
If he were to do what he did this season and he was 8 million, that'd be amazing value. Because basically he did what Trent did this season, and Trent is amazing value at 8 million. So, you can't say Bowen isn't. I think he'll be good, but it'd be hard to get that consistency at 8 million. So West Ham don't have European football next year, do they?
I know they might have conference. I think that was the whole thing at the end of the season. United was with West Ham, but I don't know how much any team is really going to focus on conference. Although Leicester did towards the end of it start putting out a strong team.
Yeah, the conversation now has moved towards what positions people will be. Will Son be a forward? Will Mane be a forward? What about Foden? That's a whole different conversation. We can get into that in a while, but we have awards to get through and hand out here, so let's see.
So if you could shut up in the chat and actually focus on what we're saying, that would be fucking great for a change. But
so
I was kidding.
Such an angry man.
Yeah, it's in the genes. But let's move on to our next award, and it's another special guest announcer for the evening. Now, this one, as I kind of warned at the start of the show, it's a bit of blue for the dads. It gets a bit hairy. And it's for the Fur Coat and No Knickers award. So essentially a player who had a massive price tag and absolutely failed to live up to it. So with that in mind, I will throw you over to our next guest for the evening. Please, everyone, welcome Mr. Gianni Battici.
Good evening, everyone. Gianni Battici here. Hi, I'm here to announce a very special award. We've come to the point in the evening where it's time to praise a player for having no substance and a huge price tag. Some might say all the gear, no idea. Some might say all faux fur coat and no knickers. Hang on just a second. When we present the award, and Sharko, my little Santa's little helper here, is going to present the award with me. So Sharko, are you going to come bring me the nominees? Sharko, come here. No, I'll have to get them myself. Here we go. Okay. So, the awards. The 4 nominated players for all faux fur coat and no knickers are Lukaku. He's not been brilliant. Number 2, we have Raheem Sterling, ladies and gentlemen. Should he get the award? At number 3, we have the high-priced Sancho. He didn't deliver either. Controversial for number 4. Should Harry Kane get the award for all faux fur coat and no knickers? Lukaku, Sterling, Sancho, or Kane? Who's the winner? You decide. In fact, the winner is... Sharky, come present the award with me. And the winner for the award for all faux fur coat and no knickers is... Sancho. It had to go to Old Trafford, ladies and gentlemen. Sancho takes the award.
All right, I think the guys are absolutely enthralled by Mr. Battici, but I would like to say once again, absolutely amazing video, and thank you for announcing this year's Fur Coat No Knickers Award. Paddy, would you like to talk us through the winner?
I would. First of all, Gianni actually putting on a fur coat and wearing a pair of pants. I'm still amazed.
I'm shocked.
I might even go for a wank break.
Yeah, well, we did plan that into the show, so if you could wait 5 more minutes. No, I'm joking.
Wait till the next video.
Yeah. Anyway, it's absolutely fucking bollocks, Gianni. He's fucking went with Sancho, hasn't he? And it's Lukaku.
Yeah, I think it's Lukaku. But he said fuck that. I'm not giving out shit to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's controversial, but can we overrule that?
No, I think when you go to the efforts,
Gianni has spoken. Yeah. He said it in his pants, so. Sancho,
I think Sancho is a good pick. I think Sancho's a good pick. Although I would have definitely went with Lukaku ahead of him. I actually went with his United teammate Bruno Fernandes ahead of him, even though he did get points this year and lived in 1 or 2 game weeks. Like, totally was a letdown compared to his price. Aside from game week 1, really take game week 1 out of it, he was fairly poor. So, yeah, what are the chat thinking? A lot of them think, Keane Cronin thinks Lukaku, no doubt. Rossi thinks Foden's overrated. And there's
Mazda makes a very good point there. He wasn't expecting much from Sancho, but he was from Lukaku, and that's the way I was. I was horrified when Lukaku went to Chelsea. I thought, oh fuck, he's going to do bits for Chelsea, isn't he?
True. That's a brilliant point. Yeah, I mean, in that sense, it does swing it towards Lukaku. So, but we've
if a man in his underwear tells you that Jadon Sancho is the Fur Coat No Knickers Award, you just listen. You don't argue with that, guys.
Yeah,
you don't
you're
debate
right.
it. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, but anyone else that wasn't there that you thought was an honourable mention? That are you considered? Like
FPL Raptor, I think, as Andy
Raptor.
Schafter pointed out, I think that was a good shout. I'm just kidding. It's a pretty
all
good
fart, no poo.
Bazza says the exact same thing you said, Paddy, there, where I wasn't expecting too much from Sancho, but with Lukaku,
That's
definitely
because I was reading what Bazza was saying.
Oh.
Fuck's sake.
Fucking hell, Seamus. Keep your
Real
shit together,
fucking
man.
This isn't live, is it?
Go fuck yourself, San
No,
Diego.
I can edit that out. I can edit that all out. We'll be grand. But yeah, thanks again, Jenny, and fair play to you for really getting the guns out, pun intended. And thanks to Sharko as well, the dog. That's 2 years in a row we've had pets announcing awards. I think I'm gonna have to keep that.
Yeah, we're a pet friendly pod.
My respect for Jenny went up a notch there after today, I think, I have to say.
Well, how does it feel to know that you aren't the best looking person on this pod tonight?
It's a bit of a shame. It's a letdown, but it takes the pressure off. I can loosen this tie a bit more now.
No, he was chatting to me there, so he was Seamus. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course I fucking was, Seamus. What are you just jumping in like that?
It's a wee bit disappointing, sure.
It's okay, Paddy. Next year we'll knock it down a peg.
Yeah.
We'll knock it down a peg. But next up we have got another positional award. It's a big one, I think. It's probably it's the biggest one. Midfielder of the year. So if I'm going to do this right, I should pull up the screen. And the midfielder noms, as everyone knows, the sandwich of the team, the bacon butty. FPL midfielder of the season nominations are Son, Salah, Jared Bowen, who everyone's creaming themselves for in the chat, and Saka. They're my 4 nominations. Anyone I've left out honourable, just to cover myself in case people think I've completely forgot everyone. Honourable mentions this year for the midfielders go to KDB. Jota's in there. Fuck me, I must have been high writing this. And Ward-Prowse and Madison. They're the honourable mentions. So Paddy's got this. What's the swim cap about? What's this about? We weren't made aware of this, Paddy.
Cap. This is the swim cap that you're going to see when I score for the North.
He's got a
That's
buck
a celebrational swim cap.
Fair enough.
Kind of like a Raul Jimenez, kind of you're going to reach behind the goals and pull out this and throw it over your head.
It's going to be in my pants. It's going to be in my pants because I was drawn by FPL Doodles on the Team North wearing a swim hat. So this is the exact one.
Yeah. Did you see
Sorry,
No, you're fine, buddy. Did you see the adult-rated version of that, John?
Yes, I did.
Tiny Mickey. It was a real shock.
Tiny Mickey.
Yeah, but I mean,
she's swimming in the Atlantic Ocean.
100%.
In the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah,
it's not the size of the wave. Anyway, it's the motion in the ocean, Jer.
Oh, I'm not insulting you, Patrick. I was surprised that Doodles went so.
Anyway, it's not big, but of a fast arse. Of a quick arse.
Fastest arse in the West.
Oh, it's past 9 o'clock. We can do what we want.
It's like a Pepsi cap.
It's past 9 o'clock. We can say what we want. Bit of blue, bit more blue for the dead.
Do what we want.
But yeah,
so we're hearing give it to Son. We're hearing anyone but KDB, not KDB.
KDB's not nominated. He was just an honourable mention.
Yeah, he's an honourable mention.
Yeah.
FPL Hint says if Son doesn't win this, it's a farce and he's going to walk. A few people saying Bowen. Mike Alvin thinks Saka or Bowen for the value. What do you think? Who actually won this? I don't know the answers to some of these awards, so
I don't think you do because I didn't tell you. I didn't know the answers until a couple of days ago.
I'm ready to write if it isn't who I think it is.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think it is, Paddy? I won't say what you're.
Well, it has to be Son.
Okay, so you've got a vote for Son. What about you, Seamus?
For me, it has to be Bowen for his value.
Yeah. And the chat seem pretty divided between Son and Bowen as well, don't they?
That seems to be the way it's kind of going. Yeah, exactly. Kean says 200-point barrier smashed for a 6.5 million West Ham midfielder is outrageous, which I think so too. And how many points did he end up behind Son? 50 or so points, 52 points. Well, considering the price difference, I think you got to factor that in. But I wouldn't. No, not a single mention of Salah. Not a single mention of Salah.
Yeah, fuck Salah.
But Salah's pre-Christmas form was insane. Remember, there was just a where he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goals in his first 9 game weeks, along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 assists. It was insane. But his pre-Christmas form or post-Christmas form that's going to cost him here? Sure.
We'll find out. Let's roll this over. The FPL midfielder of the season 21-22 goes to Jared Bowen.
Wow.
There we go.
Did any of you guys have Bowen in your teams?
Yeah, I had him
Everyone
like
had
for
him
that
in
whole
there.
start. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
everyone
never
had
had
a
him.
team for that.
Fuck, no wonder I'm shite.
Yeah, that's the 500k for you right there, Paddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
But I mean, I think like it was the end of the season that really caught my eye with Bowen. It was because like he was one of those positions where I couldn't go for him because the Europa League for West Ham, that kind of rotation risk. They didn't have doubles. It was that like I can't justify it, but fuck me, was he delivering? Do you know that kind of way?
He had 9 double-digit hauls this season.
It's crazy.
That's crazy for his price, and he was basically playing up front, for a lot of the season too, and carried that team when Antonio's form just fell off a cliff. So I mean, yeah, if he was priced, if I thought he was going to keep that up next year, and I think he might. Because they have Conference League. I just don't see him playing Conference League much next season. Not the early rounds, at least. So, I mean, if he comes in at 7.5 or something like that, I think, yeah, you'd have him in your team, wouldn't you? He's more, maybe not, but yeah.
I think like I stretched to the likes of Antonio this year, so I don't see why I wouldn't do that for Bowen, especially if this forward position continues to be dead. But we'll see. I can see looking at the chat there that Ash is devastated that Son didn't win. He that's about as OFFS. It's about as close to cursing as Ash is gonna get.
Yeah, that's Ash flipping tables.
Yeah, he's actually just smashed.
He's
someone
fucking
there.
rioting. I think he might even have whooped his knob out and smashed it off the wall.
I think
Sheer
it's.
rage.
I think what he's probably doing at home is like flipping, and he's
just filling out
ignoring his wife. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what his
A rage wank.
and I think that's the most
not even
as
horny,
rageful
just
as Ash gets, because he just seems like
Blasted
too nice a
penis.
guy to throw his size out of pram too much. He probably won't tip tomorrow. Someone there like, I'm not tipping you.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I'm just collecting my food and closing the door really aggressively.
Yeah.
But no, Son was close. I mean, if you'd said Son won, I would have said, yeah, I'm not going to dispute that.
I mean, to be fair, I did all these answers. Was it Friday evening, Saturday morning? So I mean, like I wasn't taking that last day into the season. Son joined top goal scorer. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have changed my mind. I think Bowen is a strong pick. And he just, he kind of came out of nowhere this year. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to throw my.
Rommel in the chat said, he says just Son for the sheer fear factor of not owning him. So we can just leave it at that. I thought it was a nice comment.
It is, and as a Harry Kane owner for for all of the end of the season, with the exception of game week 38, Son was an absolute nightmare.
He was killing us. That's why we struggled to gain rank for most of it, because he was even the week Son smashed it, or not Son, KDB smashed and got 30 points. Son still got 20 points. We would have been creaming ourselves over him if it wasn't for the fact that KDB took all the attention that week. He's just unreal.
I like what you did there, calling it a game wank and then like creaming all over it.
Yeah,
That was brilliant, Seamus.
Did I call it a game wank?
I don't know. That's what I heard it, but I am wearing a swim hat. Randy Shafter's all for the rage wank.
Yeah, I feel like you and him are cut from the same cloth. And by cloth, I mean swim caps.
Maybe we are.
Yeah. Let's leave it there for the midfielder. Jared Bowen's taking it. There's no amount of whinging is gonna change it. I would like to make a request that anyone is enjoying what we're yapping on about. If you hit that like button, that'd be great. Or even go as far as subscribing. That wouldn't do any harm either. But
subscribe would be better than like, wouldn't it?
It would, but I don't want to lock anyone into some long-term commitment like a YouTube subscription. I'm thinking just a like. Just throw €1 in the bag.
If you like rage wanks, subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button now. I think
And
that's
if you like pokey bum wanks, like.
Just like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you like both, do both.
Subscribe.
But let's move on to our next award. I like this one. This is the What the FPL moment of the season. So this is those, not too dissimilar to Scumbag Hall, but more of a like, where the hell did this come out of? And we've got some nominees. We've got KDB's 4 goals against Wolves. I think that, I know it was recent, but that was an absolute shocker. And we've discussed at the start of the show that between myself and Seamus, that was a giant moment in the season. I think Salah's hat-trick and the Havertz blank game week 9, that was a massive what the FPL's going on. James, 18 points in game week 28. I think, again, a little bit of personal bias creeping in for me there, just because I couldn't get to him, and then there was those poxy pricks like Seamus who could, and in that one fucking game, goal, assist, clean sheet. I think it was 2 assists. I can't even remember, but goal, assist, clean sheet, and bonus points. 18 bloody points, and then the Dennis red card, game week 23, which for me I won't forget for a while. That was massive. It didn't hurt as much as it would normally, but everyone captaining this kind of weird Watford striker, for him to get sent off. -1 in a double game week, not playing the second fixture. Yeah, I think that's definitely what the FPL moment for me. Any favourites for you guys, Seamus?
The Dennis one, as you mentioned it, that kind of reopened an old wound. So I was thinking that. And for me, it was quite like it had to be. I kind of forgot I had James for that haul there until you mentioned it, but it had to be that KDB where I just like got 60 points that I knew you didn't have because you had double City defense, you had Foden. I was like, it's not going to sell Foden to get KDB and take a hit to do it. So it's like, yeah, I've got a straight shot here. At could have gone for Sterling or whoever, but I was like, yeah, let's go KDB. So that was one of those, oh my god, I can't believe it kind of moments. And it was has to be for me. I'm sure there was a few people in the chat who'd say the same with that particular week because I know they were captain, but there'll be a few more.
Yeah, Paddy, anything standing out to you?
Well, apparently, someone in chat said, or Baza said, the Havertz one because me and him fell out about it. so I have to obviously go with that one.
Yeah.
But Dennis was also a killer.
Yeah, and the Dennis one actually influenced me in not captaining, to a smaller extent, but not captaining Richarlison in game week 37. Because I was like, I'm really going to captain another double game week relegation threatened piece of shit,
And this was after Weghorst, so
yeah, and like as I said, Weghorst went out, and things like that. I was just like, do I really want to do this, So that was an element in my mind. Also, he had a knock, and also I knew you were going to captain him, and I was like, I got to go for someone else, and I should have just went with the safest option, which was Richarlison with his 19 points. But yeah. A lot of people are going for Dennis in this one. What do you think? I think the Salah one was a good shout because it was Man United, and there was genuine reason to not think he would do anything against United. But because he's early season,
was there genuine reason?
Well,
I'm looking back now.
At that stage, they were, you kind of knew they were, but the evidence wasn't there in front of us so much.
There was no fucking way you were picking Salah to score 4 goals in that game, like. Solskjaer had, he'd played City and Liverpool in previous games, and he had a way of like tightening up. But, there wasn't as many goals, and he'd even frustrated City. And then it was like, oh fuck, Havertz. The strikers were all injured. We went for Havertz because he's going to be put up top. That's the one that fucked my season.
Yeah. Well, you'll be happy to know that neither of them have won an award. No Havertz, no KDB. It was a tight one with KDB, but I felt that I think it was just a little bit too personal. And I think in terms of the entire game and just that general reaction in the FPL community, the winner this year of the what the FPL moment goes to Emmanuel Dennis. Yeah, that minus fucking pointer. If you told me at the start of the season I was going to captain a Watford player at any stage, I'd have just slapped you in the face because you've not treated me with the respect I deserve. But
what game week was that again?
Game week 23 was when Dennis decided to be an absolute tangerine.
And I'm not being. I'm not being incorrect in saying that we all captained like 2 weeks later because they had another game week or something like that again, right? He blanked as well.
Maybe. I mean, it does sound like something I would do is to go full on into, double down on something stupid like that. But I think it's definitely something that we'll talk about for a while. Like in a couple of years, we'll all be chatting. Like we still talk about the Shane Duffy captaincy for Brighton and little things like that. I don't think it's quite at that level, but I don't think it's a million miles away. And I want.
There was also people who had captained King. I think if King had gone off in one, because there was a divide. Who'd you go for? It was Team Grass versus team.
Analytics.
It might have been grass versus stats or something like that. But yeah, I'm just looking at King. I was like, man, his last goal was in game week 13. He just did nothing for the second half of the season for like half their games towards the end. So he ended up like 50 points almost behind Dennis. But yeah, for a while Dennis was untouchable. But yeah, as soon as he stunk up the place, we all were captaining him. That was another one.
We were. Seamus, you're getting some lovely comments in the chat. FPL.
I know, people are so nice.
Lucky. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a few plants in there. To be fair. But yeah, no, I think that's the general consensus. Emmanuel Dennis, fair play. You may not be in the Premier League next season, but you'll be forever in my nightmares. Let's move on to, we've only got 4 more awards left. We've got 1 more positional. You can guess what it is. And we've got a couple of goodies, 1 more guest to appear as well. So before we move on to our final guest of the evening, let's talk about the FPL forward nominations for the year. So nominations, I don't like this. I almost left this category out this year because of how fucking shit the forward position was in general. That was going to be a point of mine. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. It's been rubbish. But I've kind of been forced to, just because of my own OCD. And on the screen there in front of you, you can see in very poorly visible font, the 4 nominations for FPL forward this season are Kane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Antonio, and Pukki. I couldn't think of any better forwards than those 4. I don't know if they're the exact top 4 highest scoring, but they're not a million miles away from it. Did I leave out anyone there? Let me know in the chat. And Paddy, who have I left out?
I don't know. I just want to say hello to FPL Air there, who says that we're looking well, Jer, and of course Seamus as well. But he just specifically said, Paddy, you're looking the best.
Yeah,
so thank you, FPL Air.
You're always bringing the show up a notch, Paddy. You know.
You just said that there, yeah. Twice. Said it a couple of times. But no, I think you had. I mean, that's how bad the forwards were this year. They're like shocking.
Yeah,
no,
it
was bad.
Like, fuck me.
Seamus, you're clicking there. You can't be cheating. Like, what's your gut say? What's your gut saying?
I was thinking Tony, how did he do? I mean, Antonio had 10 attacking returns, 10 goals, 10 assists. And Tony had 12 goals, 5 assists, and like a lot of those were penalties. So I mean, I don't know. Tony was, I don't know. It's a bag of dicks, really. It's not a good category. There's no one there. I'm looking down and down and down. No one. They all underwhelms. I think when I looked up, I was looking at my message there to you, Jer, for my nominations, and I said like, if I can vote none, I'm vote none. But if I have to pick someone, it would be Kane, because he's the only one that actually emerged. With a bit of credibility. I mean, Ronaldo obviously did well, but I mean, even Pukki there. Like Pukki's third amongst forwards with 11 goals, 3 assists, several of those penalties. He's rubbish, But I'm
going to go with Ronaldo for this year, just because
you're going with Ronaldo for forward of the season.
Yeah,
you're a fucking man.
Yeah.
That's bias there anyway.
Ronaldo.
I mean, I agree with a lot of what Seamus is saying.
Well, I mean, Ronaldo got me more points than the other guys. I never had any of them.
Yeah, because you didn't know any other bollocks. That's why.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Yeah,
well, you had Antonio for the start.
Not long enough. Not long enough. You didn't.
7 goals, 11 assists in FPL is actually, quite a respectable return considering, this wasn't, one of his better seasons. But like, he really stepped it up towards the end. I mean, if you look at it, he had 1 goal and 1 assist in his first 15 game weeks, in Spurs' first 15 game weeks. Then it all came together. And for a while there, he was literally the only forward you could really go for. He was kind of holding the forward position for a long time. And
I'm seeing justice for the likes of Nketiah, Matete. Bro has been mentioned just because of that kind of value pick, but Matete I don't get it. I think maybe Ash is just taking the piss with that one, but,
maybe
but Nketiah
was awful.
Vardy near the end as well, Baz is saying.
Yeah, but what did he have? 3 game weeks, 2 game weeks?
Yeah,
that's the same with Nketiah. Like, that's
scraping the bar anyway.
Yeah, come on, lads, let's go with the classics.
This is a season-long thing. I mean, I get what you're saying about Nketiah and blah blah blah, but I mean, if we're going to say that about Nketiah, based on form, Welbeck has to be in for a shout, for the last few game weeks of the season.
Why
So
did Welbeck go mad?
Welbeck
Yeah,
had
that's kinda...
3 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 game weeks.
I did not
Yeah,
know.
so
That went...
if you sort by forwards and form, he is top, the highest form.
Well, he's not top of the FPL forward of the season because the winner, and I think there's only one that could have out of that list for me, and it's the same as last year, Mr. Harry Kane.
It's fucking bullshit.
I know.
The same man you nominated for a coat, no knickers.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, the same.
Well, I mean that says more about the forward
Is
position
this the best
than it does for
midfielder
me.
award?
Yeah, it's
What
the
did you
best.
say, Paddy?
Is this the best midfielder award?
No, forward. Oh, because he's so deep. I get
Come
it.
on, Seamus, snap out of
Jeez.
it. He's
Get
the
the
new
fuck
quarterback.
outta here.
He's the new quarterback for Spurs.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
I never fuck Harry Kane.
no, I think he got his little haircut and he shook off that that half the
Didn't want to be
season.
there.
Yeah, well, he's there now and he's fucking stuck there by the looks of things. So I wouldn't worry about it. I do see the hypocrisy, Seamus, in mentioning him in the fur coat, no knickers. That, for a start, was maybe an oversight that I did not see playing out the way it did. And secondly, I just the forward positions were so poor this year. I didn't have an option. I couldn't pick Ronaldo because how shit United have been. And at least
You done your best, Jer.
I did my best. That's all you can ever do.
And it was a third category.
It was a tough category. It was a very tough category. But he's won it now. It's there. It's done. It's up on the screen, so it's there forever. We won't get around
What
it.
was with the Barry's tea? I get that. Did you just want to put him in a cup of tea?
I think I was just going with Irish things. For a while, I was just picking buses.
Is Barry's tea Irish?
You're fucking damn right it's Irish. Jesus Christ, Paddy.
We drink fucking Lions tea.
Yeah,
up
exactly.
here.
Yeah, of course you do. Because you're
Lions
fucking...
tea's Irish, is it not?
Well, Lions tea is
It
Irish
is.
too, yeah. It's the weaker of the two
Well,
Irish tea.
But sure, Lions
Poor
tea's better
creators.
than Barry's tea.
No, it's not, lad. Sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
fucking
Maybe with your weird
fucking
Donegal water, it's better.
afterwards.
But, no, sorry.
Tea.
And plus, we're
That's
fucking
the
sponsored by
biggest
Barry's tea.
controversy of the whole fucking show is that Barry's tea is better than Lions tea.
That's not controversial. That is a fact. Anyone that says different
FPL Betty he drinks Lions tea.
probably doesn't drink
Baza
tea.
drinks
Bet you he doesn't
tea.
drink tea. Bet you doesn't drink tea.
No, he
Niall.
definitely doesn't drink tea.
Yeah.
He definitely not. He's a coffee. He's like a chai latte kind of guy.
And Eric agrees with us as well. He reckons it had to be Kane. There's no
Of course.
doubt about it. But yeah,
Barry's from Cork. Well, yeah, Kane, we know your allegiance.
yeah. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. It's the tastiest tea in all the Edinburgh Loyal. But look, we're getting getting sidetracked with tea for some
Yeah,
reason.
you're right, Faza.
I've just ignored you for the last 60 seconds or so while I was reading through the chats. But now it's just descending into which tea is better, Barry's or Lions discussion. So let's move on for, some people say nasty things that they can't take back. And what's on the internet? It's
You don't want to fall out.
No, we don't want to follow. Not live on air. The first time we've been live on air this fucking season. Yeah, let's move on to our final guest of the evening. Another big name in the FPL community that I'm absolutely, I would say, a little bit shocked with all of them, the lads tonight. Not so much PJ because he was there last year, so I'd only be lying. But yeah, I guess just with how. What are you laughing at? That wasn't meant to be an insult. That was a genuine.
I'm sorry, Handy Monkey. Sorry.
No, that's not what I meant. And
He's
also,
totally just shat in your mouth.
also speaking of Hindi Monkey, a nod of appreciation to three amigos who hung up their hat this season, hung up their sombrero, I suppose I should say, after I think their 5th or 6th year at the podcast game. So fair play to them. I'll miss them. I definitely would check them out on a weekly-ish basis. So, but yeah, big thanks to our next guest for sending in this video. He is here to announce our Cumrag of the season. So, villain of the season was what we told him because we didn't think we'd be able to push Cumrag. I thought that would be a little bit,
Jeez.
yeah, a little bit adult.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I kept that one to myself. You should see the pictures I had lined up for this. Real,
Oh my God.
graphic. But I've kept it.
Villain.
I've kept it nice, and for that, I'm going to throw it over to the one and only FPL Salah.
Okay, so the nominations for the villain of the season go to double game weeks, Newcastle takeover, forward options, and prediction models. Okay, So the winner is. Pass me the remote, please. Thank you. The winner is prediction models.
Great.
I think it's now we've just transitioned just enough time to let Seamus be on camera as he runs out of the room.
Brilliant. That's Are we back on? Are we?
We're back live, baby.
Well, Seamus just saw Abdul's beautiful beard there, and he said I had to go and have a wank. So we lost Seamus for a couple of seconds there, but
it won't take long.
Beard. It's a beautiful beard.
Yeah, and it won't take long with a beard like that.
I'm going to stroke that beard this weekend.
Tell us again, Paddy. Tell us again why.
Game week 39, where the North versus the South, where the North is going to destroy the South. It's a few FPL content creators against a few other FPL content creators, obviously, and it's for a fantastic charity. It's for Street Child United. Everything's going towards the charity, so cannot wait to see everyone there and just fucking get pished.
Have you got a celebration lined up?
Oh, fucking! I've got my swim hat here with me. Wait, might have.
Are you gonna stick that down your jocks, and then if you score, whip it out and put your big sweaty ball?
Fucking whole game. I'm gonna run. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep it down. When I score a goal, I'm gonna pull my swim hat out from my ball sack, and I'm gonna put it on Raptor. I'm gonna put it on Raptor's head.
But that's a red card. That's a red card offense.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I don't care.
Poor Ross is getting an awful doing tonight. Jesus Christ.
Oh, but I love him really.
Yeah, let's go back
United man as well.
He is.
But until the match is over, he's a wanker.
Oh yeah, absolute enemies till then. But we've talked about villain of the season, come rag of the year, if that's your so
Ross.
inclined. Jesus Christ.
No, sorry. Let me guess. FPL, or no, I won't say that actually.
Well, the lads know who the winner is, so we've played the video.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I thought it was someone else.
I'll talk through the nominations before we land on the winner. Double game weeks, Newcastle's takeover, forward options, lack thereof, prediction models. Now, I know what Ash in the chat's thinking for prediction models. I know how much he loves them. But forward options, predictions, Newcastle takeover, double game weeks. Where are you going there, Paddy? What's your vote?
Well, it has to be forward options for me personally. Like saying just because of the conversation we just fucking had. But I mean, what's that last one about models?
Well, prediction models, like AI and fancy football fix, like that
like
whole.
All that
not
XG
specifically
and
that,
XA
but that
shit.
whole. No, that's stats. Prediction models in terms of like actual. These are the players that are going to score fucking points. Jesus Christ, Paddy.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's nominated for villain of the season.
Well, then fucking that's it. Because that's bullshit. You can't. That's like fucking. No, I can't say that. Well, but that's bullshit. Totally bullshit. I was going to say.
How long, by the way, has Seamus been gone? We were like, you've got maybe a couple of... There he is now, we're running back.
There he comes now.
He had to go, I'll just make a quick drink. A fucking White Russian. I'll just make a cocktail down in the kitchen.
Imagine he went off, had a wank.
Yeah.
A fucking baller.
That
Paddy, come on.
He was talking about how that Abdul's beard really got you there in that video.
Aroused you.
Run off. A quick shake.
Run off and give yourself a fucking reach around.
Got to give FPL Sal props for coming on here, actually, Abdul, because I wasn't expecting to, and he's
to have a wank.
As far as you can be a fan of other FPL, people men who talk about FPL, fan of how he plays the game.
Players.
Yeah.
Managers,
not players. Well, what do you think? Are we FPL managers or FPL players? I say managers.
I say managers in the general, but I think we are players of the game.
Yeah, I tell people that I manage a football team.
Yeah, you leave out the fantasy part.
Yeah.
I say coach. I'm a coach.
Yeah, I'm a coach at the weekends. I coach a couple of lads.
Like that Step Brothers.
Did he? So who won
fantasy?
the villain of the year? I'm not going to say the other words. That's just
before. Fuck you. So, before as he licks his dirty ass fingers.
As he licks his finger after having a wank.
My own fingers.
Oh, Jesus
So the 4
Christ.
nominations, Seamus, for villain of the season was
Kit
double
Kat.
game weeks, Newcastle takeover, forward options, and predictive models.
It's not double game weeks because those are fun. They make it hard. They can make it harder, but they're actually fun. So it's definitely not those. Newcastle takeover. No, I mean, like I didn't get too offended with that. I'm not surprised. That's just the way the game is. Another oligarch / state coming in to take over the game. And what was the other one? Analytics and
Forward options.
oh, forward options could be a good shout. But I think I went with analytics on this one.
Oh, really? I thought you would have went with the forward options.
Yeah, I think at the minute analytics is kind of because it's making the game harder for me. So that's why I've got a problem with it. Because I mean, if you're an engaged manager and you have your eye test and you kind of know, you can kind of tell from here anyway. And you can just look through. I mean, I haven't a problem with a lot of the stats. Okay, I have no problem with, touches in the box, shots on target. I think we all have access to that.
I think
They all make
prediction
our
models.
decision.
I don't want to mix prediction models up with stats. That's the thing. I know they're closely intertwined. But
Yeah, but the actual ones that just come out and these are expected points, like that's just doing way too much groundwork for you. And I know it's helpful for the casual player, but it's for reasons like that people are, doing so well, which is good for them. It just makes it harder for us, and it's making it easier for the casual player. And I don't think I like that. So just tell people, the touches in the box. There's stats out there people wouldn't look at. Like touches in the box was always one I looked at for forwards. And I remember when Mitrovic in the Premier League seasons ago, and they're like, oh, he's got the most shots in the box. We all got to get him. I was like, yeah, those are all like shitty headers from like the penalty spot that the keeper is catching comfortably or he's putting over. Like these are not high quality shots. So there's ways to assess them, but now it just does the work for you and says this person's going to get whatever. And I've listened to podcasts that have actually said I'm just going to do what the model tells me this week. So this modeling thing, it just computerizes the game. And when I hear that on pods, I'm like, okay, well, I'm switching off now because you're basically saying you're outsourcing your thought process to a computer.
Yeah, and fuck computers, right? Am I right?
Fuck them.
Yeah,
We don't need them.
Except they keep me in a job, but yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, and we're literally using them right now. But Paddy, you need to run off and get your charger. We are nearly finished.
I do indeed.
Do it. I don't want you leaving without saying goodbye.
I'll be back.
Do. He's really just sneaking off.
What won?
Winner was prediction models.
I'm surprised at that. But then again, is it just me and you that decide these winners, or was there an actual vote?
I don't remember. I didn't know the answer when I got sent a video, and I was excited as well. I was like, oh, who is going to win this? I'm the one that sent the nominees. But I think for me, I think I'd have to have gone with the forward options just because everything you said about the prediction models I pretty much agree with, but I think the forward options it's just sad, just like seeing it being absolutely decimated, but it isn't new, it isn't specific to this season, and so I would have went with that, but prediction models won, so to hell with AI. Maybe there's hope for humanity altogether.
And what do people in the chat think? I'm just having a look here. And FPL Hint says pause forwards, but he also said models and AI should be binned, which is kind of what I'm saying. I thought this was kind of more controversial. I know some people were saying it online there recently, but I actually thought that it would be, I thought there'd be a lot more support for it. I thought there'd be a lot more people going, no, I use these the whole time. I think they're really good and they're helpful, but they are good. They're developed well. But they're too well. They're just simplifying the game to an extent that makes it boring for me. So,
as an example for the predictive models, and I'll move on quickly because I'm aware of the time. Is like the end. I was free hitting game week 37, and all the fucking models were saying Madison, and I went, I'm just not feeling it. I don't want it. I'd rather fucking maybe double up on Everton attack, blah blah. That obviously came back and bit me in the ass, but. They were all screaming his name, and I just chose to ignore him. So I suppose, you could look at it two ways. You could go, they're giving you the answer, and you can still choose to play your own game. Do you know that kind of way? So I suppose, what's the difference? But that's the villain of the season. Well done, prediction models. We'll get a trophy out to you. Last two. Best budget option of the year.
Oh, yes.
Is our
This
second
is a
last
lovely one.
Yeah. So... I was going to ask you while I try to buy myself some time, and Seamus smashes the fucking keyboard like a lunatic. What the budget options were for the year, the nominations, but I don't fucking have them in front of me. Do you? Oh, there I have them. I got them. All right. Best budget options 2022. Dennis, he's already been talked about enough tonight. Fuck Dennis. Gallagher for Crystal Palace. Mbumo, I have /Tony written here because I couldn't pick between two, but I think I'm gonna go with Mbumo just because that OOP. There's an argument to be made for both, so we'll just go Brentford. We'll lob him in there. And Odegaard, which again, I don't know why he's got so much love here in the nominations, but he does. Honourable mentions to White, Livermento, Foster, and Broha for the budget picks. But yeah, who are you looking at there, Seamus?
I was looking at the nominations because I was trying to figure out the difference between this and the life hack. But the life hack, I guess, is often an out of position player. Or like a serious underpriced, like a 4.0, which is why we were kind of shitting on Cody a bit earlier, Paddy. But I think Cody falls into this budget option as a good option this year.
Yeah.
I have down Gallagher and Dennis, but the more I think about it right now, the more I'm thinking someone like Gallagher or Broja, or just some, maybe even Scarlett for Spurs. One of these.
They would go into
positions.
The life hacks. Scarlett would definitely.
Okay, maybe
go into the life hack.
They're life hacks. So budget option, I think you don't get much better than Dennis or Gallagher. This season, they were both excellent. Gallagher was smashing it earlier, so they have to be. They're my two boys. They'll be stable boys for me. So yeah, one of those two.
Yeah, a lot of love for Paddy? Gallagher in the chat. Ben White's been mentioned as well. Yeah, Paddy,
well,
what are your thoughts?
I wish Cody was in there. He pulled me out of a few serious holes, but I know you're not perfect here. I probably have to go with Mbuemo. I did bring Mbuemo in as well for a couple of games, and he was out of position. And can't remember him actually lighting anything up for me, but he was good. He was a good budget. He was good budget pick, and he was out of position. So
he had his moments. Yeah.
I have to agree with FPL Hints here at the minute. He's just shouting Matip from the rooftops, and I feel like you just was somebody that was just off our radar because none of us had him. I think if one of us had him, we would be, espousing his virtues like crazy. And I think actually the correct answer probably is Matip, who came in a 5 this week.
This award ceremony year 2 is the Matip Gate show.
Just Matip. Yeah. No, 100%. Unfortunately, he's not mentioned.
Mike's brought in Emil Smith Rowe there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a bunch of Arsenal options, the likes of Odegaard, Martinelli, ESR. They all had a shout,
Yeah.
But I think Smith Rowe, realistically, was a bench player that somehow scored 5 goals in a row or something like that coming off the bench. I don't know the actual stats. Maybe it was just 3, but would come off and just stick one shot in the bottom fucking corner, and that was it. That was all of a sudden you're laughing, fucking 6 points, 7 points, or something like that. But the winner for the best budget option this year, and this isn't going to go down too well, but I guess I didn't pick Matip, so tough shit, is Conor Gallagher. I think he he also falls into the one to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing where he ends up next season. I doubt he stays at Chelsea. Does he go on loan again? I don't know, but I really enjoyed watching him play this year.
Can they sell players now again, or is that kind of dependent on whether they get bought?
No, I think they're bought. I think that's done now. I don't know.
Is that confirmed? Okay. I don't know. I kind of still thinking maybe that's going to be a factor. Funnily enough, because I was saying, let's just see who might be the best value here. So if you sort by all players in the Premier League and sort by value over the season, who's number 1? Who do you think?
Matip.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Matip by a mile. Yeah, no, he is, and this is with his current price of 5.3. He started at 5.0, and even in second with the price increases that he's got, which actually isn't that much. Jared Bowen finished the season on 6.9, which is crazy considering he started at 6.5 and he got over 200 points. You'd expect him to be 7.58 million, but I guess no one really had confidence in West Ham's lack of double game weeks towards the end of the season, so everyone just went without him. And he's the second best value. Cody is third. Told you he was good value, Paddy.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Alisson is third or fourth.
Alisson,
And
the keeper.
Yeah, Alisson and Lloris then, and Dyer. These are guys that are coming in with value. But it's not surprising to see really cheap defenders be in there. But I'm surprised the 6.1 goalkeeper is showing in there as the best value. But yeah, he had a smashing season.
Yeah, well, he didn't win the fucking FPL Hangover award, so to hell with him. Congratulations, Connor, and I am actually looking forward to seeing a bit more of that lad. I think he showed a bit of promise. But that brings us to our last award of the evening, and I know we've kept you here, maybe too long, but we'll let you go home soon, and we'll wrap up the end of the year. But before we do, we need to announce Player of the Season. I didn't come up with something witty for that. Maybe, what's the opposite of a cum rag?
Ragcum?
Answer in the... No, it's disgusting. Answers in the comments, please. Opposite of a cum rag.
That could be the mug winner.
That could be the mug winner if we get a decent fucking one of them.
The opposite of a cum rag.
Yes, but Player of the Year. I didn't think it was too difficult. The only thing that was frustrating about this was not turning it into essentially midfielder of the year again. And with that in mind, there is 3 similar nominations. The nominations this year for Player of the Season: Mo Salah, Heung-min Son, Jared Bowen, we've been there, and João Cancelo.
Jesus.
Or Matip, right?
Or Matip, yeah, based on what has gone on.
Give the fans what they want.
I think we're going to have to put Matip in there.
We're going to have to, because they'll tear the room apart.
Have you seen these lads riot? These are the guys that listen to lads chatting about cum rags. You can't have them fucking going buck ape in a room.
Player of the Season.
Player of the Season.
Player of the Season.
Come on.
FPL Player of the Season.
Do you know what you do for that?
What? What do
You go to the stats page or transfers, and you sort by most points. Pick the player there. That's how you do it. And for that reason,
but that's too easy.
Mo Salah is the best.
But I think Son.
You think
a
so?
very, very strong valid point for Son, absolutely.
For the price point as well,
and there's people here saying surely Salah. I feel Hints thinking Dan James. I think he's fallen off the wagon here.
I think
Dan James. I see that's I know. There was a Dan James penis popped up in one of.
Oh yes, Dan James, of course. I get the reference.
Who she was, weren't you?
So that's why I keep saying Matip and Dan James, because he's just.
Oh, he's been filthy all night. He's been absolutely filthy.
Keen Grunt says Bowen, Player of the Season. Not bad. Not a bad shout for value. But I think I only captained Bowen once this season. So I couldn't. I mean, if it was somebody I was going to be captaining regularly, Player of the Season has to be something like that. So that's why Son or Salah has to be in it. But I go Salah. I wouldn't disagree with anyone who said Son. But what do you think, Jer?
Paddy, do you want to cast your vote for?
I was just going to say Son, just for the sheer fucking, because he doesn't play for Liverpool.
Well, I went to Jura that time because I thought it was quite clear that Paddy was going for Son there. But that's why you don't. This is the tiebreaker, Jura. You have to separate us.
It's tough. I didn't expect it. So first of all, I will announce the Players' Player of the Year, which I didn't beforehand. But the Players' Player of the Year is quite clearly Joel Matip. So he's going to take that award. He's the Players' Player of the Year. We've all decided.
Player. Okay. Well,
yeah.
But for the actual FPL Player of the Year, season 21-22, please put your hands together for our little South Korean, Heung-min Son.
Heung-min Son. He's taking it.
Yeah.
He's taking it.
Yeah.
He's done it.
Son. I love it.
It was tough.
What they wanted.
It was tough, but I think the end of the season, Son destroying me and Salah just not doing jack shit for me really made me go, yeah, Son's taking it. He's the Player of the Year. You could have had him for the vast majority of the year. He was carrying the team when Kane was having his little bitch fit. And and he just continued it through the year. Joint top goal scorer, swapped positions with Harry Kane this year. What was it, 17 goals? And I can't remember the stat, but go on, Son. Go on, my son.
Son, happy with that, yeah, Son.
Yeah, I won't argue. I mean, he was class. And he destroyed my season. I think I only had him for 2, maybe 3 games all season. Yeah. But that 2-goal salvo at the end of the season felt nice as a new owner.
It did, and a captain's asset. But yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of the show. I don't know. I mean, have you guys got anything you'd like to say before we wrap this up and say goodbye to everyone?
Well, go ahead, Seamus.
No, I was just going to ask your thoughts on how the season went. So yeah, but Paddy, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think we should definitely do some more live streams next season because it's really fun.
I 100% agree. The plan this year was to do it basically once a month, and that turned into never a month. And,
like a wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. A pay-per-view once a month. Get everyone geared up.
I'm tight of China.
But yeah, I guess we can wrap it up there. How did I think the season went, Seamus? Yeah, fine. I beat you. Don't care about the rest of it.
No, so you were happy. You thought this was a good season, an enjoyable season, or was it a slog? Because I thought it was a slog.
I get you. The season in general. Sorry, not my season. Yeah, I thought it was. Considering all the shit that happened last year with COVID and empty stadiums, I was happy to have it back this year. Obviously, it was a bit of a slog with the double game weeks and the blanks and stuff. But in general, yeah, I didn't feel There's a lot of people talking about, I just want the season to end and, blah, blah. No, I like this. I mean, I like it every year, Like, I just don't take it too seriously. Simple as that.
Yeah, me too.
Null and void again this year. 2 free hit chips, like fucking ludicrous, absolute fucking ridiculous. And how can you sleep at night getting fucking?
It kind of ended up being unnecessary, didn't it, Paddy? Like, I mean, you both played it in 37, right? You did.
Yeah, just because I just wanted to get rid of mine because I felt like cheating.
Yeah,
played it right away.
And I obviously played it earlier, but it fell perfectly for those in 37, and it just that kind of cost me a lot. So. I don't think they really needed to give it that extra free hit. I think we all could have done just fine without it.
You weren't whinging when you played yours, you bollocks.
I played it earlier, and I don't think I did even too well with it. It's 27. Yeah. I did pretty okay. I dropped. I gained 12k in rank, but I didn't do anything special with it. And the people, if I just waited, I would have done better. So there's a strategy in it, but it's just one more decision you could get wrong or right. But yeah, hopefully next season now they'll bring some rule changes in. I'd like to see them. It would be good if they did 2 free hits, one first half of the season, 1 second half of the season. That'd make it more interesting. I'm not against that. But yeah, where you can kind of save them up and use 2 free hits in 3 game weeks. That's it just means the end of the season things get a bit volatile. I think there's a lot of variance this year. So yeah.
I can tell you I wasn't on the proper side of it, but yeah, you're right, and I think we'll leave it there. We've just hit the 1 something mark. It's hard to tell because they don't give you they give you the total time and not how much it was in the waiting room area, but whatever. We'll wrap it up. I would like to thank everyone that's joined us this evening, especially you, Seamus and Paddy. It's been a pleasure to do another season with you. Hope to catch you again next year. Everyone that's watched on YouTube, thank you very much. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's been amazing. And hopefully we catch you next year. Any of you listening, I hope you enjoyed the season. I've enjoyed making them. And Seamus, Paddy, anything you want to say before we leave?
Just thanks to Abdul, to PJ, and to Gianni for their videos. Thanks for Paddy for, ably filling in for so much of the season when I just wasn't available just to family commitments and things like that. And to you, Jer, for continuing to host and put in the effort each week. And for everyone else who's been listening to us throughout the year, liking, sharing our stuff on Twitter and things like that. It's been a good season. It's been a good season. It just at times felt like a slog. And
it's been a long one. It's been a long one.
It's felt long, hasn't it? Yeah. And we're only getting a small break before the next season starts as well. But Paddy, any final words?
I just want to say thanks to everyone who took their evening out tonight and spent it with us, listening to us chat a wee bit of shite. And I would also like to thank you guys for being great podcast partners, and to Jer, of course, for the blood, sweat, and tears he does for all the fucking editing that goes into these things behind the scenes, and of course to the 3 guys, as Seamus says, Gianni, Handy Monkey, and Abdul. And look, see you next season. Can't wait.
You're damn right. Yeah, with that, that's absolutely perfect. Guys, enjoy your summer. Try to forget about FPL for a while. And most importantly, God bless.